Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second half of part 3 of the boss fight tutorial. And so last time I left off, I was having a little bit of an issue with um, the fly up damage numbers were only flying up once. So I did dig into the script and find out what I did wrong. So, and part of it was I just deleted what I had on the Boss AI server. So if you run into a problem sometimes, I mean, you can dig into it in the section, or if you, so it's got where you follow along the tutorial, you can drop down and have the entire script. So you can either dig through this and reference your script, or if you just are scratching your head like I did, I just deleted mine, cut and paste it, and then looked for the difference. So what it was actually was that in the tutorial here, it tells you to, so the Boss AI server script needs to update. So add the above line to the bottom of the on damaged function. The damage object contains a player. So it tells you to add it to the bottom. Um, So I actually added it to the bottom here. So I had this part of the script on the on damaged function cut. I had it here, and I'll show you. So if you have it here at the bottom of the group, and then play, and I'm just going to play in the editor because it's quicker. The fly up text only does once and then doesn't do again. So where you need to have it at the bottom of the script is after this end. So this is a little paragraph that ends, but it's not the end of the function. So you need to paste your new one here. Just make this a little cleaner. If I don't mess it up, making it cleaner. So I think that's supposed to be like that. Yeah, there. So it should do this if function and then end, and then the events broadcast should be after that, and then it will do what it's supposed to do, which is update every time you shoot it. So now you see it's flying up. Okay. So at least I solved that problem off screen. So continuing, trying to do these about an hour at a time. I did not realize this is actually pretty long tutorial. So there's a lot going on. So um, yeah, this may be, an ongoing process, but I do want to use this in a section of a game that I've kind of been working on for a while. So hopefully once I get it done, I can plug it in and have it work at least for one section of a game, and hopefully learn enough from there to do some more with the game that I'm working on, and hopefully have more boss fights than just this one boss fight. So we will continue on the next section is disable player weapon. So when the player spawns in, they can shoot the boss from spawn position and take no damage. It would be good to force the player to be in the perimeter with the boss. To do this, you will be disabling the weapon abilities and enabling them when the player is in the boss perimeter. So update player server script. I'm not sure if we have that one open. I don't think so, so let's go find it. Player server script, so that's this one here. So we'll open that one up so it's on our script editor here. And see. Okay, so local players. Add the above line to the top of the player server script. You need to keep track of the players in the game so that the weapon for a player can be enabled and disabled at any time. So we're making a local players library. So at the top, we're going to say local players, and this one, I believe equals curly Q brackets, which will create a library. So we'll actually grab the players and store it in this empty library. I believe they call it a library. List, basically it like grabs a list and creates a list where there is no list. It creates a list. Okay, so add the above two functions to the player server script. These functions will handle enabling and disabling the weapon abilities for the player by looping over all the abilities that a weapon has by setting the isEnabled property. So local function enable weapon. So if object is valid player and player's player ID and object is valid player's player ID weapon, then local abilities players find descendant by type ability for index ability and iPairs abilities do ability is enabled equals true. So this is setting it to true, and then this is basically the same thing, setting it to false. Ability is enabled equals false. So the first part is finding the abilities by those libraries. And yeah, script that's kind of over my head. So we already have a function in our script here. So the onPlayerJoin function. So yeah, as long as this tutorial is, I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense for me to be writing all of this out. Or if I just cheat and cut and paste anyway. Because we want to get to the fun stuff, right? So, I don't know. A lot of this, anyway, I don't fully understand. So, hopefully, it'll kind of explain it when we get, I think it will explain it here. So, we'll just copy, drop it down here, and paste it. Why is it not liking it? Does it say to put it at the top? See, sometimes that's what's tough is where to put it. Add the above two functions to the player server script. These functions will handle enabling the abilities. Doesn't say where to put it, but it didn't look like it liked me putting it there. Weapon equip player. Wonder if it's replacing the on player join. Let's do cut. Paste. See if it likes it any better there. Not really. Control save doesn't really like it. So we'll see. Okay, so add the above code to the bottom of the onPlayer joined function. When the player joins the game, a weapon is spawned and equipped. This weapon is added to the player's table for the player who joins, so you have a reference to it. Okay, that's probably why. So copy. So on player join. Now when it says to the bottom of it, we had that problem last time. Does that mean I put it at the bottom here or like here? And then say end. Probably not, because it doesn't look like it's liking that. So no. We'll put it above the end. See, now that's where I'm getting kind of confused. Snap it right here. Still doesn't like the players. Is it because I capitalized players? Did they capitalize players? No, they did not. Print player joined. Okay. Okay, when the player leaves the game, clean up the player's table by setting the value to nil. So then this one will be on player left. We'll add that here. Paste on player left. I swear my headphones are telling me they're dying. But I say 56%. Hopefully they don't die on me. I guess I'll just have to check OBS once in a while and make sure it's still working. Okay. So when the player leaves the game, clean up the player's table. Add the above lines to the bottom of the script to enable weapon and disable weapon events. Will allow you to broadcast this to script at any point to enable or disable the weapon abilities for a player. So we're doing the game.playerLeft event, which will clean this up, and then events.connect enable weapon and connect disable weapon. I could just hit this. I'm not just hitting that button. So that is right here. Put that there because that would be player left joined event and then connect, and that makes this all shiny and new like it should be working right. So hopefully I cut and pasted all my scripts in the positions they are supposed to be. Okay, the updated player server script. Update boss AI server script. When the player enters or exits the perimeter trigger, you need to enable or disable the weapon abilities for that player. update on player enter shoot function. So that's on the Boss AI server. So Boss AI server script. And then that is on player enter shoot function. Player enter shoot. So here we want this line, events broadcast enable weapon player. Okay, double check that that's the same. And it's got a space, but I think it's just for our purposes. So that should be fine there. And then on player left shoot should be right under if object is valid player. So we're going to copy that, disable weapon, and paste it there. Yeah. This one we will go ahead and give it a space just because the for function makes it more readable. This one's fine because it's still readable in that way. I'm not sure it actually needs the space. It might though, to make it readable. Okay, so on line 3, a broadcast event is fired that will disable the weapon abilities for the player. This will also fire when the player dies. Test the game. So test the following. Shooting ability is disabled outside the perimeter. Shooting is enabled when inside the perimeter. Okay, so I'm going to test the game in the editor first, just so, yeah, can't shoot. And then when we get here, supposed to be able to shoot, and I can't. So, once again, I did something wrong somewhere. Which it looks like it should be probably that I did not control save. So can't shoot, can shoot. So remember, kiddies, save your scripts. Okay. So working correctly. So set boss to start as invulnerable. The boss will start invulnerable, so it cannot receive any damage until 3 shield generators have been disabled. Okay, so adding more gameplay. Enable the property start invulnerable on the boss damageable object. So update player server script. You need to listen for when the projectiles from the weapon impact an object to determine what to show for the player. Create get valid target function. Okay, so this is in the player script. Player server script? Yeah, update player server script. So Local function get valid target. If not object is valid, then return nil. If target is a damageable object, then return target. Find ancestor by name damageable. Okay, so that's what it will be looking for, damageable objects. The function getValidTarget will be used to find a target that implements the damageable interface so you can see if that object is invulnerable. So we're going to copy this and we're going to put it in here at the bottom. So I know it keeps saying put them at the top, but it seems to be that we're putting them at the bottom when I look at their already written scripts. Okay. Update on player join function. When a player joins the game, they are given a weapon. You need to listen for when a target has been impacted. So weapon.targetImpactEventConnect. So that's on the onPlayerJoin function. Okay, onPlayerJoin. I'm not sure where it wants me to put that though. So weapon.targetImpactedEventConnect on impact. Add the above line just after when you equip the weapon for the player. So here, weapon equip player. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay. Create on impact function. Local function on impact weapon object and impact data. Local target get valid target impact data dot target object. If object is valid target, then if target is invulnerable, then events.broadcast to player, impact data, weapon owner, show damage, 0 and true. The on impact will look at the object being impacted to see if it is invulnerable. If it is, the owner of the weapon receives a broadcast that will show the damage. The fourth argument is set to true, indicating the object hit is immune to the damage. Okay. Copy that one. And this is a new function. I believe we'll be putting at the bottom. Paste it there. It all looks dirty. So I don't know. When it's kind of darkened out like that, it usually means something's not quite right. Okay, test the game. When a player shoots the boss, it will display immune in front of the boss. Okay, so first, save our script. Then, test the game. Nope, errors already. Nice. So, error connecting event listener. Event listener is nil. Player server line 27. Yeah, so I didn't like it there. On impact. I wonder if these should be above. Whoa, whoa, whoa. From here. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably right, because now it's bright. It's not all dark looking. So hopefully that will read correctly. Can't shoot. But is not saying immune. So even though that's reading correctly, something is not quite right. If object is valid target on impact, it doesn't like if target is invulnerable. Let's see if it has. Yeah, so player server script should look like this. So local weapon, get custom property. So local function enable weapon should be first. Okay, so local function enable weapon, disable weapon. Enable weapon, disable weapon, get valid target. It's beeping at me again. Check OBS, huh? Says it's still working. Enable weapon, disable. Whoops. Okay, so I think this should be between. Cut there. Paste there. Yeah, get valid target on impact and then on player joined on player left. Player joined on player left. Get valid target on impact. See. taking damage. Yeah. Yeah, player joined, player left, connect. Player joined. Get valid target on impact weapon object. I have these two swapped. Get valid target and then on impact. Yeah, get valid target on impact. Target unknown nil. If target is invulnerable. Target dot is invulnerable. Not sure. So this is how I solved it last time. I'll just take this and delete it. And then copy this and paste it. And see if that fixes it. Although I'm not sure what went wrong. Nope. When a player shoots the boss, it will display immune in front of the boss. That's what it's supposed to do. Player sprint ability. Okay. Set boss to start invulnerable. Date player server script. Yeah, this is a player server. Local players. Function enable weapon. Disable weapon. Get valid target. Is damageable. Is a damageable, then return. Find ancestor by type damageable. Could be that. Although I'm not sure why this is a squiggly line. Target is invulnerable. Then events.broadcast to players, impact data, weapon owner, show damage 0 true. Connect on impact. This could be somewhere else then. It's weird that that's showing that as a squiggly line though. If object is valid target, then if object is valid target, then if target dot target dot is invulnerable. It's not giving me an error. I believe. Yeah, and it's not showing as invulnerable like on the picture. Because in the picture here it says immune. When a player shoots the boss, it will display immune in front of the boss. But it didn't do that. Okay, and that was the last one that it was doing there. Enable the property start invulnerable on the bot. Oh, there we go. The boss will start invulnerable, so it cannot receive any damage until 3 shield generators have been disabled. Enable the property start invulnerable on the boss damageable object. That's why. So on our boss damageable object, there is a property, should be start invulnerable. Here we go. Tick that. Now it should work. So now, there we go. Immune. Alright, so that's why I said come join me in my struggles through game development, especially when it comes to programming. Read every line. Okay. We should be able to get through this one, okay, in 20 minutes. Yeah, okay. Adding player sprint ability. This one's good because you can use this for any game, even though there's a lot already out there that you can drag and drop from community content. But right now, the player can be killed fairly easy by the boss, as it is hard to get away from the damage of the projectile. Adding a sprint ability to the player will give them more of a chance, and as a side benefit, helps you test your game more quickly because you can move around faster. Or a double jump. The default binding set will need a new binding added to detect when the player presses a specific key. Open up the Bindings Manager window from the window menu, or by double-clicking on the default binding set in My Binding Sets, found in the Project Content window. Say what now? Alright. Bindings manager. Okay, from the bindings window, click on the Add Bindings button to add a new row to the bindings set. So we don't want to create new binding set. This one down at the bottom. So add directional binding. Can I help you? In the action field, enter sprint. So from the bindings window, click Add Bindings button to add a new. Click the Add Bindings button to add a new row to the binding set. So it does want to add a new row. Add binding. We'll just say add basic binding. In the action field, enter sprint. Yeah. So action field here, sprint. Description. From the keyboard primary drop down, select left shift key. Let's call, say, player will sprint. Core behavior. Oh yeah, you can't just push shift. Left shift. Keyboard secondary controller. Yeah, that would be I don't know. I'd have to know what all the rest of them are. Right trigger, left trigger, up, down, left, right, left. Okay, we'll just leave it like that for now. Still working. Okay, enable networking for this binding so it can be listened to on the server. Yeah, networked enabled. So that should be, so it's automatically got it. Okay, update player server script. Open the player server script so you can add some functions and events that will give the player ability to sprint. Create on action press function. So create a new function called on action press that will be called when the player presses a key. It will check if the action value for the binding that was pressed is sprint. If so, the walk speed of the player is increased by setting the max walk speed. So then this should be fine. We can close this window. And we're going back to our player server, I believe. Yeah, player server script. So local function on action pressed. Player action, if action equals sprint, then player max walk speed equals 1200. We'll copy that. And put it at the bottom. I'm not sure if this will matter or not. We'll see. Create. Oh yeah, because it's going to need the inputs. Create a new function called onActionRelease. That will be called when the player releases a key. It will check if the action value for the binding was released is sprint, and if so, the walk speed of the player resets to default speed of 640. Local function onActionRelease player action. If action equals sprint, then player max walk speed 640. Okay, we'll copy that one and paste it there. Connect the events, connect up the action pressed event and action released. So these two, I'll call the functions and we'll put them down here. Uh, maybe not. It doesn't like the action released. Hmm. Not sure why it does not like the onAction release. We'll see where that goes wrong. Check how it's got it here. They should just be, yeah, at the bottom here. Action pressed, action released, like I had them before. Oh, maybe, where's it got? Disable weapon, on impact, on player joined. Huh. Where's it got the function on action pressed and on action released? That's weird. Disable weapon. Huh. Doesn't look like they even have it in there. They just have the functions. Well, we'll see. An error. Error connecting event listener, which is obviously input action released event. I wonder if I need to make an well, let's check this because I know that's something that would be in the script. Open script generator. action pressed released. Window, running out of time. See, bindings manager. Action is sprint. For behavior. Don't crouch, interact, character picker. It didn't say to do any of those. Toggle networking for this buyer. Oh, maybe I was supposed to do that. Toggle binding as enabled during start. So maybe that was. Oh, still doesn't like it. Local function on action released. Wonder if it's just nil, like you don't even need it. Let's see. No, because it's not moving any faster. Well, I thought that would be an easy one for the finish, but let's see. I don't know why it's not even in here. That's weird. Because it's got the input dot action released event and action pressed event, but I don't see the function in the script anywhere in here. Because this is their script. Enable weapon, script, local function, disable weapon, local function, get valid target, local function on impact, local function on player joined, local function on player left. But it doesn't have create a new function called on action press that will be called when the player presses a key. It will check binding press. So open the player server script so you can add some functions and events that will give the player the ability to sprint. Create a new function called on action press that will be called the player presses for the value binding when press a sprint, and so walk speed of player by walk speed. Create an action, connect the events. The updated player server script. Create shield generator. Interesting. So weird. I'll do it again and see what happens. Okay, copy this guy. Go here. Delete this guy. Why am I doing that? Just delete that guy. Paste it. Although it looks like it's missing both of those. So I don't think this script is going to work either. Probably really gonna get some errors. Yep. Error connecting event listener. Okay, so that's pretty weird. Yeah. So on action pressed sprint. And it acts like it likes that one. And but it doesn't like that one. What if I take this and cut it there, paste it there. Da, 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 da. Hmm. Hmm. Well, yeah, I don't know about that one. I'll have to dig into some other scripts and find out what's going wrong that, and that will be the start for next time to see where the errors went wrong. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. You can follow the tutorials. I got them all compiled on YouTube. So if you search Mr. Dr. Roboto Man on YouTube, you'll find from the beginning, and hopefully I can, get them all in with some semblance of understanding. So, all right, thanks a lot. See ya.